I'm Rachel Lawson, and I've come today to talk with you about things we've been doing at an open source project called Drupal to involve people at our events more and actually make some bigger impact with our events. I'm Rachel Lawson. I'm the community liaison at the Drupal Association, and luckily this session is recorded. So one of the things I will be able to do is, while this session is taking place and being shown during the event, I will actually be at rachel.norfolk.me/2021/technoday, and I will answer any questions you post as comments. So please do. Okay, well, yes, I'm involved in technology, but also I like to visit the world and travel around, usually on my motorbike. And I always include one of these motorbike slides in my presentations. It's just something that I do. I highly recommend going around Eastern Europe, especially. Bulgaria was amazing. Anyway, moving on. I should explain, what is Drupal? Well, Drupal is a web content framework that's been changing the world for the last 20 years. Barack Obama built his election campaign on Drupal. NASA tell us all about Mars explorers using Drupal. All those New York subway train signs above the platforms are powered by Drupal. And Tesla just seem to do everything with Drupal. It's just one of those things. People are using it in these particularly special times as well. The fact that I can buy my Lush shampoo bars without having to go into a shop because I can buy them online using a Drupal website is a good thing. And I don't know if you know, but every single person who took part in the phase 3 Pfizer-BioNTech studies for their COVID vaccine was registered via a Drupal website. So yeah, it's a big thing. It does a lot, and it's been around for 20 years now. But most of all, Drupal is an open source community. It's made up of people, and helping those people be inspired to contribute their time to the project, to grow it over those 20 years, and helping enable those people to do that is one of the things that I do. And some of the people here that are some of the leaders in our community who have been doing exactly this and are involved in the changes that I'm going to talk about today. So we're working with people. That's really important. I mentioned we're going to change some of the ways that DrupalCon works. So I probably should explain what DrupalCon is. Well, DrupalCon is a conference, just like Techno Day. And here we can see some people learning all about actually accessibility at one of our conferences. It's always popular, and there's always people sat on the floor. Just that seems to be the way it goes. You also get to hear inspiring talks from industry leaders, and we had Sue Black speaking last year, which was great. But most importantly, it's a place where we technologists get to meet and network with our peers, where we actually get to spend time with each other, and that really matters. So we have all that, but of course, last year along came COVID-19. Everything changed. No more travel. We all know that it was this shocking kind of thing that was happening, and we can't travel, we can't go places. So conferences have to change too. And last year at DrupalCon, we went virtual because that is what everyone's doing. Techno's virtual, and it's great, and it means that more people can take part and get involved and present, etc. And we had more presenters at DrupalCon Global than I think we've ever had. We were able to invite more people on scholarships than we ever had, nearly 10 times as many actually, because the way that virtual events work is so different. However, there's always a but. Virtual conferences do have challenges, and people did feed back to us for this year a couple of things. So one of the really key things we noticed is that it's much easier when you're physically at a venue to stay engaged with the conference if you're actually there for a lot of hours. So when we've traditionally been running talks and sessions for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, that's fine at a in-person conference. But if you want to watch that type of thing and simply attend and to consume, that's an awful lot of time to be staring at a laptop. So people have been saying to us, what we don't necessarily want to do is just attend, but we want to participate. We want to be part of what's going on. Yeah. One of the ways that we have done that a little bit at the in-person conferences is through helping people contribute to the Drupal project. It's an open source project. People can contribute code, documentation, marketing materials, testing suites, all sorts of things. And in fact, this is Jordana teaching someone about how to do some code there, which was fantastic. She's one of our mentors, which is wonderful. So maintaining and finding a way to hold that participation of the event in a virtual conference seemed key to us. Another thing that we knew that we wanted to change and to improve was how we use an event to have a positive impact upon the future of the Drupal project. Now, to have impact when you've got 1,000, 2,000 people or 3,000 people at an event is you need to give them focus. You need to give them things to focus down on and to really work together on and collaborate. So that's exactly what we're looking to do. Now, if I look at the timetable that we used to use for DrupalCon, you would have had things like Monday would have been training and summits, and you would have talks and bits and pieces, and maybe keynotes on Tuesday, the same on Wednesday and Thursday. And then you would let people have some sort of mentored, general random kind of contribution all across the project. And there was no focus. When we looked for sessions, we would go, this sounds an interesting session, let's have this one. And we would put them randomly around the timetable for the week. But we're going to change. So what we're going to do is look down on what are the focus initiatives of the Drupal project. Things like how we make Drupal easy for content creators and site builders in the future, how we reduce the total cost of ownership, and how we keep Drupal relevant and impactful. Okay, so we want to take those initiatives, those things that are important to the impact that Drupal has, and transform those into what happens at our major events. Well, what we did is we're working with some of the strategic initiatives that the project has and placing those right front and center into the Drupal program. So we've got things like easy out of the box, decoupled menus, automated updates, and getting ready for Drupal 10, which will come before we know it. It will be here very soon. We're on Drupal 9 right now. So we're going to change, and instead of having some contributions stuck on Friday and random sessions, we're going to look at what each day means and really plan it out to let people know what's going on at each stage. We will have a timetable, and this is for every day. So every day we'll start with a keynote by one of the strategic initiatives or the leaders of the strategic initiative of the project. And I'm looking at Wednesday here, which will be auto updates, when we add auto updating of Drupal into how the system works, how Drupal core works. Start with the keynote where they can explain what auto updates is how it works. They can then also talk about why it's important. They will then have a Q&A. There'll be general sessions, the usual random wonderful things about Drupal in its great diversity of components, but placed cleverly through the program, there will be highlighted sessions that are purely about that specific initiative. PHP Tough is a tool for being able to securely distribute updates. Okay, and we're working on that with several different open source projects. So you'll be able to see your way through the program. And then at the end of the day, you will have, for the last 4 hours of every day, time to sit there with mentors who will help you actually contribute and help move auto updates forward. So yeah, we start with keynote, and we have the various leaders of the program there, and they talk us through it. We have some really good sessions specifically about that strategic initiative placed in the program. And we work with the speakers to make sure that one talk leads from one into the next, into the next. So anybody following this track will be able to understand far more about how it works and why it's important, and why they will be able to talk about that in the future when they're selling their websites or their pitches, when they're pitching for website work. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, the latter half of the day, people will actually have opportunity to participate in the future of that strategic initiative. And that could include, as I say, actually writing code relevant to the auto updates system, but it could also include making sure that lots of our contributed add-on code is up to date and ready for the version of Drupal that will work with auto updates. It could be improving our documentation, because there's no point in having auto updates if you don't know how to use it. It could involve producing marketing materials to actually sell Drupal based upon the fact that we have this functionality now, and so on. And we'll have a whole bunch of mentors like Jordana who will be able to explain how to do that, and explain how to find the various bits of work and how to update them. Okay, so we're building up a function of how it works and making sure that we've got far more focus on what we're doing. Well, what was the result of the change? Well, I can't tell you, actually. I can't tell you, because DrupalCon North America actually begins on April the 12th. It hasn't happened yet. So the best way to find out whether this change in structure helps people to have greater impact on the project is to be part of it. Come to DrupalCon North America, see for yourself. And I'll look forward to meeting some of you there. Again, if you've got any comments, please let me know at rachellawson.me. Thank you.